The Cleveland Browns are one of the best offensive lines in the entire league. Today, we're going to break down the tape and how they absolutely dominated the Pittsburgh Steelers. I want you guys to watch this run right here by Nick Chubb. This is the second play of the game. This is the 13-yard run. This play really sets up the scheme, the things that this Browns team does to make sure their plays work. The reason why this play hits right here is because of the block here on Cameron Hayward as well as the linebacker here. The block by left tackle Jedrick Wills as well as Joe Bitonio on Cameron Hayward. And the fact that as the linebacker kind of comes up, you're going to see them process this correctly and one of those two guys gets to the linebacker. Because of that, this play ends up hitting. As they get out of their stands, both guys make contact. Bitonio does a great job getting the left hand on Hayward and really helping Wills get to the inside hip of that defensive tackle. As the play begins, you're going to see the linebacker jump to the outside here of Wills. He's going to get off the defensive tackle and he's going to block him and shut it down. And of course, the left guard ends up sticking with the defensive tackle. And ultimately, Chubb runs it right between their gap. That's a really solid job. Jacoby Brissett has had a lot of success, but a lot of that should be credited to the offensive line. Most NFL pockets do not look like this anymore. But Brissett was protected well last night. Now, of course, he was sacked. Do keep in mind, Pittsburgh has a really good defense. They had a lot of coverage sacks. But when you have a right tackle like Jack Conklin, who does a great job on this rep right here, he's going to do what is referred to as snatch and trap. Ultimately, he gets the defensive lineman into the dirt. And I want to break this down just a little bit because I think this is a very unique thing that not a lot of tackles do anymore. Conklin's going to do a great job getting out of his stance, making contact with the defensive end. And at some point in this rep, you're going to see that left hand punch down on this defensive lineman's right arm. That punch right there removes all leverage. He's essentially snatching the defensive lineman and the defensive lineman falls into the dirt. That's a great job right there by the right tackle. Once again, snatch and trap is an advanced technique that not a lot of people use, and Jack Conklin has done this a number of times, and he does a great job right there. Let's go ahead and get into the next rep. Jumping forward, I want to get into this 36-yard rush by Nick Chubb, and I want to break this play down, because in my opinion, the blocking on this play is top tier. And I really want to give credit to the rookie wide receiver David Bell, because Bell does a fantastic job on this play. From the end zone angle, as this play begins, I want you guys to keep an eye on linebacker Devin Bush and watch Devin Bush make his reads and really key and diagnose this play. He does a fairly solid job being able to read it. But what ends up happening is David Bell and Peoples-Jones do a great job picking up the safety and linebacker, as you guys can see right there. And ultimately, that opens up the lane for Nick Chubb. But it's more than just those two guys. Joe Bitonio is probably one of the best pulling guards in the entire league. He's going to really lead this for Nick Chubb, and he's going to find and make contact here with the corner. That's a fantastic job to make contact. Of course, Chubb is Chubb. He's going to break at least one or two tackles. You guys see he breaks 2 tackles on this play, including Minkah Fitzpatrick. 36 yards just like that. It's a really solid job. I just want to quickly point to this play right here and just talk about how nice of a pocket this is for Jacoby Brissett. Like, there's literally no one within 2 yards of him, and he has all day to throw this pass, and he's able to deliver a great dart here to Amari Cooper on the right sideline. But honestly, that pocket looks really nice, and one of the things the Browns do that really helps the offensive line is they make sure to always try to chip as much as often. At the same time, they have these tackles 45 degrees set, which does create a little bit more space. So what that means is as the play is going to begin, if you watch the right tackle here as an example, you're going to see him really go out in a 45 degree set. As opposed to sometimes tackles may vertically set, which is they go straight backwards. The issue with that is obviously the pockets will not have as much space as if you 45 degree set because you're really fanning out. Now obviously, as you guys see, when you do 45 degree set, it does leave these massive lanes. That's when you need a running back like Nick Chubb to really step up in there and take that linebacker on, make contact, and shut it down. Of course, keeping your quarterback clean. So able to deliver a nice pass. Let's go ahead and get to the next rep. Check this play out right here. Kareem Hunt is going to pick up 11 yards, but the offensive line does a really solid job, specifically the center, Ethan Pocic. I want you guys to watch the center on this play. He's going to do a great job to stretch to the left of your screen, really push out that defensive lineman and gets his hands on him. And number 41 is going to way overplay this. And Pocic does what a veteran would do in this play. If you guys watch Posic's left hand, he's going to lock up number 41. If you guys missed it, let me rewind it just a little bit. As number 41 comes towards the center is going to lock him up. And what that does is that's going to give him leverage to push 41 out this way and ultimately create a wall here for the running back to cut it back. And the fact that the left guard, Bitonio, does a great job cutting off number 51 and hooking number 51, you're going to see Hunt hit that hole right there. This is a really nice job by the entire offensive line to seal off and create that lane for Hunt, that cutback lane. Right, and great job by Hunt seeing it. Let's go ahead and get into the next rep. One of the most important parts of a inside zone is the backside seal. If you watch the left tackle here, he's going to do a fantastic job getting to the inside. Not a difficult block at all, right? He's already shaded to the inside. But the thing that is really impressive on this play is the fact that he stops that defensive lineman. He stops him pretty much right where he made contact with him. Maybe he gave up about a yard. But look at the lane that gets created because of that backside seal. This defensive lineman doesn't move the left tackle much, and of course that creates that seal, which ultimately allows Chubb to cut it back. Solid job by the left tackle, Wills. Let's go ahead and get to the next rep. I want you guys to watch the safety Minkah Fitzpatrick on this play. When you have so much success running the football, this is what ends up happening. You get guys biting and you're able to hit them on a 3rd and 1 for 32 yards. That's a great play design and call, knowing that Fitzpatrick is going to bite. Let's go ahead and jump into the next rep. I want you guys to once again watch this rep right here and watch the offensive line absolutely dominate on this play. And of course, Chubb picks up a really, really nice amount of yards. But it's really Jack Conklin that I want to point out because I think he does a really solid job on this play. Jack Conklin has a pretty difficult block. He has to reach to the inside of this defensive lineman who is in that 4-eye technique. And for him to be able to cut and seal off this defensive lineman is a difficult task. But Conklin does a great job as the play begins. He's going to take that wide step to the inside. He's going to lock his left hand onto the backside of the defensive tackle's right arm. Ultimately, that's going to be used as leverage. He's going to be able to kick his hips and turn his butt to the inside. As you see, the defensive tackle kind of throws him to the inside, which is perfect. That's exactly where Jack Conklin wants to be. And ultimately, he's able to seal this off. And keep in mind, that's exactly where the running back cuts it back to. The fact the tackle is able to create a wall at this point right here, and the left guard's way out over here. Look at the massive lane that's created for the running back. You know, the Cleveland Browns offensive line is absolutely one of the best offensive lines in the league. You can make the argument they are one of the top 2 or 3 offensive lines. You would not be wrong. Let's go ahead and get into the next rep. I want you guys to watch this block by Wyatt Teller. He's going to do a fantastic job here. He's going to double team, and from that double team, he's going to get up to the next level. But that small little punch that he gave to that defensive lineman allowed Pocic to overtake that defensive lineman. This is a really nice job by Wyatt Teller. You know, a lot of people do think that the Browns have the best offensive line, and yesterday they absolutely crushed the Pittsburgh Steelers. Play after play after play, they were just gashing it. 5 yards, 4 yards, 8 yards. Some plays pop for 15, some plays pop for 20. And you can put that on the offensive line. I know Nick Chubb's a great running back. Kareem Hunt's also a great running back. But the offensive line is one of the best offensive lines in the entire league. And yesterday, they absolutely dominated. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If this is the first time you're on this channel, do note this is the first Browns video I've done on this channel. We do film breakdowns of different offensive linemen, defensive linemen, and sometimes we'll get into linebackers and a couple other positions as well. Please consider subscribing. We're going to have a lot more Browns content going forward. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time with another video.